You ever realize the people who raised you never really saw you? Like you could be screaming, breaking apart right in front of them, and they'd still look past you, smiling at someone else. That was me. My name's Leo Warren. I'm 26, and last week my family reminded me exactly how invisible I've always been. But this time, I didn't disappear. This time, I made them see me. It happened at one of our weekly family dinners, the kind that feels less like love and more like a performance. The clinking of silverware, fake laughter, and my mother's voice, always the director, always controlling the scene. She looked at me with that syrupy sweetness she uses right before she burns you alive. "Leah," she said, "your sister needs your room for her studio. You'll have to move out." The words hit harder than I expected. My room, my one safe place, my sanctuary, the four walls that had heard every late-night whisper of my dreams. My father didn't even look at me. He just slammed his palm on the table. "You heard your mother," he barked. "Agree or find somewhere else to live." And there it was. A lifetime of silence condensed into one demand. Across the table, my sister Tara smirked, the family's golden child, the one with ring lights and followers, the daughter who could do no wrong. She leaned back, arms crossed, victorious. My little brother Ethan shifted uncomfortably, eyes on his plate. I could have screamed. I could have reminded them of every time they took what was mine, my savings, my privacy, my dignity, to feed her spotlight. But I didn't. I just smiled. A slow, deliberate smile that made my mother's grin falter. Because for once, I had the power. They just didn't know it yet. See, growing up in our small Richmond neighborhood, my sister was the show. My parents treated her like she was born with a crown. Dance lessons, brand new outfits, talent shows, they'd clap like she was performing on Broadway. Meanwhile, I was background noise. The quiet one with the notebooks and messy hair, always lost in numbers. They called me boring. "Why can't you be more like your sister?" My mom said it like a prayer. My dad said it like a curse. They didn't know that while they were busy filming her next big moment, I was building something far more powerful than applause. When I was 13, I started working part-time at a corner store, saving every dollar in a tin box under my bed. $500. That was supposed to be my first computer. But then one day, I came home and the box was empty. "Your sister needed a camera for her audition," my dad said flatly. My mother nodded. "It's for her future, sweetheart." Tara was already twirling for the lens while I stood there with nothing but shaking hands in silence. That was the day something inside me changed. I stopped waiting for them to believe in me. I decided I'd build a life so undeniable that even they couldn't look away. While Tara was performing for likes, I was performing miracles with spreadsheets. Numbers became my rebellion, my language of control. Late nights, library floors, textbooks stacked like armor. I taught myself finance, investing, and business management until I could see patterns in chaos. By 21, I'd earned a full scholarship, then a degree. By 23, I was working in a small finance firm, learning how real people built wealth, how dreams became numbers and numbers became freedom. And by 25, I'd launched my own consulting business, right from that same room they all said was wasted space. From that desk they mocked, I helped families pay off debt, helped retirees grow their savings, helped business owners rise. My company made millions. And no one in my house had a clue. Every night I'd hear my mom bragging about Tara's new sponsor deals, my dad laughing about Ethan's grades, and then someone would glance at me like I was a guest who'd overstayed her welcome. "You still doing that number stuff?" Dad once asked. I smiled. They didn't deserve the truth. Then came that dinner. The room request. The ultimatum. My heart was pounding, but my face stayed calm. I looked at each of them, my parents, my sister, my brother, and in that moment, I realized I didn't need their house. I didn't need their approval. I already had everything I needed, and more. So, while they slept that night, I called my realtor, Ellen Park, the one I'd been working with in secret for months. "Ellen," I whispered, "make the offer. The house across the street. I want it." She didn't even pause. "It's yours," she said. 3 days later, the deal was closed. Paid in full, cash. That Sunday, I went to my parents' house like nothing had happened. They were sitting around the same table, the same fake smiles waiting. "So, Leah," my mother began, "have you decided what to do about the room?" I set my coffee down, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "Yeah, I'm moving out. Into the house across the street." The silence was priceless. My dad froze mid-sip. Tara's jaw dropped. Ethan blinked like he'd misheard me. "What do you mean across the street?" my father demanded. I pulled out the deed and placed it on the table. "I bought it," I said. "Paid in full." Tara scoffed. "Yeah, right. With what money?" And then, right on cue, my phone rang. "Congratulations, Leah," Ellen's voice echoed on speaker. "The house is officially yours. That was the fastest cash deal I've seen all year." The color drained from my father's face. My mom just stared, speechless. For once, even Tara didn't have a comeback. Then came the questions. "How?" my mom stammered. "Where did you get that kind of money?" Tara tried to laugh. "You're lying." "You're not." I cut her off. "I run a finance company, Tara. The one you've been calling my boring job. I've been building it from that same room you all tried to take away." They didn't move, didn't blink. The silence was deafening. My dad's voice finally cracked. "Leah, we didn't know." "No," I said softly. "You never wanted to know." I stood up, picked up the deed, and smiled the same slow smile from that dinner. "I'll send someone for my things." Mom reached out. "Honey, wait." But I was already gone. That night, I stood at the window of my new home, my home, staring across the street at the house I used to call mine. The lights flickered in their kitchen. I could see their silhouettes arguing. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel small. I didn't feel invisible. I felt free. Sometimes you don't have to scream to be heard. You just have to succeed loud enough that silence becomes impossible. If that were your family, would you forgive them? Or would you walk away like I did? Tell me in the comments. I want to know.